Hello, folks. Brandon Chapman with you today. It's a TheoTrade video for Monday, March 23rd, and we're about 10 minutes to close the market today. And boy, you look at how things have transpired throughout the trading. We were up a fair bit, 66.51 at the high. We're currently kind of fading back. If we go to like a 1 day, 5 day, 5 minute, 1 day, 1 minute, you see kind of in the close, we are seeing some selling enter the picture again. And it's really been a wild day, right? And the news cycle has kind of captured us once more. And in this case, if you look at the VIX was up, it was down, it's up, back up again. We're about 25. We were as low as almost 20, as high as almost 31 at one point today. If we look at oil prices were once up to about 101, and we're currently down about 88. We were down at 85 territory, 84 territory. What's causing all this movement in the market? Of course, it's the news over the weekend. The Persian Gulf. Are we coming to an agreement with Iran, or are we not? Right. So Trump seemed to indicate, they're at the negotiating table. That Iran says they're not. It certainly behooves them to not want to say what's going on behind the scenes, to keep the saber rattling going, to get the best possible terms available. But certainly, it's creating issues in the market on a day-to-day basis, and so we have to kind of look through. What's the continued impact of news coming from the Persian Gulf? And then what impact is there to the market generally? Because look, things are souring. Financially, in terms of debt, you look at Blue Owl and the like, stuff has not been great. AG&C, this is a mortgage bond REIT, a huge sell-off on Friday. And so there's things and dynamics that are taking place that we have to take into account. So what source do we trust? Well, again, I think it's important to kind of trust the markets and trust institutions and how they're trading this market. Well, how do we make that choice? How do we see what they're doing? Well, the BlockHunter console is one of those things that you can use to help identify the biggest trades every single day. And today I have pre-screened 1,780 different option trades in here. Some multiple on the same stock, some not. But as we look at in terms of the biggest trades that might move the market, we look at block trades. These are trades that occur for 1,000 contracts or more, either as a block or a sweep. And you'll see we take 1,700 pre-screened and narrow it down to 39. Now, from this list, we can try to identify stuff that might be moved by virtue of stuff that may or may not be happening in the Middle East, right? Well, if we come through, we could look at for some areas that are oriented towards energy, towards travel. And the first one that I see right here is Delta Airlines, DAL. Call options, 80 calls for June 18. And if we click on location, what you'll see is that they bought 7,250 calls in one trade. Now, that's not a retail trader. That's an institution wanting exposure to Delta at 80 by June. And let's take a look at that. So we look at the chart and say, okay, do we like that idea as a target price, $80? It's a ways up there, but understand this is by mid-June. There's time, right, for movement. Certainly it could get there. The immediate effect isn't going to be as great, but it's just someone laying something out there as an opportunity if travel gets restored and if energy prices come down. And if we look at oil prices going back to this, who would have thought that just news of maybe some discussions going on that oil prices could drop below 85 so quickly? Maybe Trump's right. Maybe oil prices can drop dramatically if we get some deal done. And maybe they're taking some ancillary measures that aren't typical government measures for these kind of crises like the Jones Act, whatever, right? So let's go back here and let's take a look at the console. So again, what's happening is, they're buying calls in Delta. We look at some other stuff here, right? So we keep coming down. Any other travel companies on the list in here? So I'm getting frozen. All right, any other travel companies? Well, there was in CSCCL. 17,000 contracts traded. Click there. How many? 17,000 calls bought at the ask or near the ask. Okay. For what expiration? For June 18th to 31 strike. So we got CCL 31. We've got, did I look at the right one? So we got Delta Airlines, right? Oh, we looked at CCL. CCL to start, 17,000 contracts, the 31 strike there. So again, is it possible we get to 31 by June? We just talked about in the context of Delta, having a chance of possibly getting back to, we'll scroll down here, we'll find it. I was typing it here. Delta Airlines, the 80 strike. So we've got 80 strike here, way, way above by June. We've got CCL. If we type in there, we got a lower strike price, but still similarly out of the money for the June expiration at the 31 strike. I mean, again, are travel companies likely to make those sort of moves by June? Again, the probabilities are low, but if we see oil prices start to come down, maybe TSA opens up and all of a sudden people can get through the airport for airline stocks. And again, maybe we could see a bigger move in CCL and Delta Airlines by summer. All right, let's take a look at some other ones here. What else can we look for? Yeah, we used to have filters. We'll go back to block trades. Semiconductors. Semiconductors, some bullish trade and some bearish trade in semiconductors here. Here we have straight puts being bought. This is a spread being bought in SMH. Either way, and if we look down here just a little lower, MU, they're buying puts in that one. TSM, they're buying some calls. But look, I mean, semiconductor stocks are very heavy on helium, for example. They're heavy on liquid natural gas. I mean, shoot, Taiwan's down to like 11 days of liquid natural gas supply. They're trying to bump that up. There's risk right now. About 20% of LNG is trapped in the Persian Gulf. Maybe it's getting out, maybe it's not. But the point is that this is an area of concern. Semiconductors, while we're seeing a lot of bearish interest come in SMH and MU, bullish interest in TSM, may not necessarily be the pure play, but certainly risk in semiconductors just because the bigger picture market weakness, overpriced stocks. Do companies cut back on CapEx? If borrowing costs are rising, those are certainly a concern. Now, as we continue to look here, ONDS is one. It's kind of towards the bottom down here, but ONDS, this is a what? This is a drones company, right? AI, drone, like networking, all that stuff. They're buying 14 calls for April 2nd. Now, I'm sure drones are probably something that have to be rebuilt, possibly being used. And if we look at ONDS, they missed earnings today. Down here, 62 cents was the report, 5 cents estimate. Pretty big miss, and yet the stock's up 8% today. And what are they buying? Again, going back to the console, what are they buying today? They're buying $14 calls for April 2nd. So again, this might be one of the more pure plays saying, look, no matter what happens in terms of agreements, we're probably going to see some need to replace some of what's been destroyed. And a $14 price target by when? Going back to the console here, by April 2nd may not be out of the realm of possibility. And when you look right here at the squeeze bar, 3 squeeze bars means what? There's a significant amount of short interest in ONDS. So again, the gamma squeeze to the short squeeze potential, $14 is definitely not out of the realm of possibility. And I mentioned liquid natural gas. This is where OKE comes in. They're buying 95 calls today, April 17th. Again, there's not much short interest, but look, you click on the location there, and we'll just filter for 100 plus. And what you'll see is someone bought 4,500 calls this morning on Oneok. Now, what does Oneok do? Again, I mentioned LNG, the need for LNG in Taiwan, where they manufacture a lot of chips, or most all the chips for AMD, NVIDIA, and Apple, etc. But if we look at right here, we'll see what provides wireless drone autonomous. That's ONDS. Sorry, we need OKE. It's a midstream service provider, gathering, processing, fractionation, storage, and marine export. Right, natural gas liquids, natural gas pipelines, etc. So it's a midstream producer, but also involves maritime services, export services of LNG. Are we about to see a bit of an increase in exports of LNG from the United States? Maybe. And certainly this stock kind of the part of that. And if we look right now, again, we're seeing a nice little update. So on the news this morning, stock gaps, then throughout the day, we're rallying as the call option buying is coming into Oneok today. And again, as we look at OKE, you click on the location, we'll see how many contracts were traded in one print, and you'll see 4,500 contracts there. So that's a significant amount of buying coming in, buying calls. So we get 2 different scenarios here. Either we're cooling down in the Persian Gulf and travel stocks have a go, or we have a potential for drone companies like ONDS
and for stocks like Oneok, OKE, that may provide more LNG. Again, that may be more of a continuation or a continuation of the conflict or escalation. Probably both those stocks in those circumstances may play out well. So the great thing about the BlockHunter console is you're able to identify every day where the money is going in the market easily, and one click find the biggest block trades of today. In this case, 40 blocks showing on maybe 30 stocks here. Well, folks, that's all I got for today. We'll catch you back next week for the video. Have a great one. Thank you.